Local Royal Palm Beach voters gathered at the nearby Multicultural Center to cast their ballots on Election Day. The day's turnout numbers, however, remained relatively low. In this largely Democratic community, many voters followed the Biden-Harris ticket's instructions and voted either by mail or during early voting to mitigate the spread of COVID-19. We caught up with the few voters who arrived just before the polling center closed to ensure their voice was still heard.
We just didn't want to stand in long lines, and when you have kids or nieces and nephews, it's kind of hard to take the kids with you to vote when you have to wait a period of time.
I was busy and I'm a procrastinator. I work better under pressure.
But regardless of the day or time, these individuals all agreed about the importance of voting, especially this election year.
The way the world is going nowadays, today really makes a difference between who wins. If I'm able to say something and make a difference, I'm willing to do it.
This is my first time voting, so I felt like it was necessary for me to vote. I feel like it's important for somebody to choose the proper president. Vote because it matters. This is your voice.
This election is vital, it's crucial, it's pivotal, it's important. This year is the year that our vote will really count.
For the poll workers, the most surprising part of this election was the number of first-time voters.
We had a lot of young people, first-time voters, which was awesome.
Young, old, and especially with the people of color. They made sure they knew how well we appreciate them coming out.
Now that Joe Biden has been named the new presidential-elect, I think the biggest lesson that we can take away from this election is not to underestimate voter turnout for either party. With historic numbers and overall national voter turnout in the 160 millions, it's clear that voter turnout was historic on both sides. And even though Trump did win Florida, it's those historic numbers of voter turnout that allowed historically red states to turn blue for this election.
Talking to voters on election day, we really got to see that division between both parties. We tried to talk to a lot of voters, and a lot of them really did not want to speak to cameras. They didn't want to put their political views out there because they were afraid of judgment. They were afraid of what people are going to say, what people are going to think because of that division.
And it's going to be really interesting to see whether we can reconcile those differences now that the Democratic candidate has been elected and we are so polarized between left and right.
Reporting for The Beacon, I'm Daniela Parra.
And I'm Haley Hartner.